All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 145 of Game Set Live, the return of the Power Man.
I have returned.
Yes, yes. He's been lurking in the shadows. All right, yeah, this has actually been a pretty good week. I got myself into some threw myself into I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it a console war or what, but I just didn't like some comments on Twitter, so I put myself out there, and here we are now doing a show. Oh, look, Fabio is now on camera. He wasn't on camera before. I was starting to worry that everybody would be stuck looking at my face all night long, but you're not.
I mean, you
Anyway,
need to have two. You need to have at least two ugly people showing up. So yeah, I'm here to do my part.
killing me. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna find my camera. I don't know what that thing is.
Game Set Live coming to you in 4K HDR, 60 frames a second now. Yeah, that's new power. We weren't doing that. We are now.
Yeah, you guys got that up res. I guess my name kind of finally matches the ambiance of the podcast.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I know,
I mean,
right?
Honestly, I think we lost a little bit of that with this fact. So maybe you should rename yourself to Powerman 8K. How about that?
That's actually like my main Discord name. I just kind of up the res, as we go through the years,
Oh,
I'm gonna run out of
okay.
K. I'll run out of K's at some point, and then have to whatever it is they start doing after that.
I mean, you've been stuck into the 4K for such a long time. I don't know what
We're just getting 4K gaming, man. Like it's not even, like we're still not even really, it's like kind of native, kind of AI stuff. I mean, we still got a while before we hit 8K for sure, I think.
Yes.
So, Fabio, sir, what you been doing? What you been playing? Is it gotten cold down there yet?
No, not yet. Oh, he's alive. Mr.
Ah.
Miserable. Oh my God, we've been
We were kind of worried about you, bud. Good thing you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
see?
now
Now I've
we
got
are
to
just
set
going
all
to
the
ignore you.
cameras up and everything.
Yeah, I thought you already had that taken care of, depending on how many people showed up.
Not for 5. That's why I put it in our group chat today that I needed everybody here by 8:15 to get that set up.
Well, I was taking my pre-show shit, so sorry.
The man's got a
do you usually take it?
pre-show.
You know
shit.
what? That reminds me of Austin Powers when the fat bastard comes out and he's like, "Where's your shitter? I got a poking turtle."
That's right.
I'm starting to figure out I'll be starting to do mid-show shit. Just so I can be different. So, yeah,
Wow.
that's go. I got
It's all
it.
right. Just take me a second to get this all set up.
And 100,000 years.
And my light's all screwed up, so I'm probably not even showing up on the camera. So there you go.
You're just a background. Have you
That's
evolved?
the kind of day I'm having. So there we go.
Okay. We are just going to
It
ignore
could be
that.
worse, my brother.
I don't know how, but okay. And
Yeah, doing all this in real time during show. So, Fabio, what you been playing? How you doing?
Well, I'm good. Thank you very much. What I've been playing some Overwatch. I've been playing some Call of Duty. I've been playing both Diablo 4 and Diablo 2 Resurrected, and I've been playing some Madden 25, South of Midnight, and Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
what, like 5 minutes each? What are you doing over there? What the hell?
No, like usually, like I'm playing for the multiplayer, like for Halo and for Halo, Overwatch, and Madden. I'm like playing one match at
Ah,
a time, and then for
that yeah,
Diablo
that
and,
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
and like for Diablo 4 and Diablo 2, I'm like grinding non-stop. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because especially because like it's just so addicting, and yeah, Diablo 4 just got a brand new season that I am excited to try it out, where you can become the butcher. No idea how they how they did that, but yeah, it's that's what's happening.
I kind of like the butcher.
I like him, except when he shows up at very inopportune times. You know, it's like, ah, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, like the thing that bothered me the most is that when I had no idea like the build I was doing, when I was really weak, that motherfucker show up every single time. The
Yep.
moment my character got to like overpowered, he disappeared. He doesn't exist anymore. I'm just like son of a bitch.
Yeah, it happens. All right,
Okay.
Drawn TJ, sir, how you doing? What you been playing?
I've been doing pretty good. Just been playing Resident Evil 9. I'm like halfway through, just going through it, enjoying it when I'm not like sick. But yeah, otherwise I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, you beat Resident Evil yet?
No, not yet. No, I'm halfway. I'm halfway through.
Mm.
I've been sick, so I'm just going through it whenever I'm
Well,
not
you've been
like
sick.
tired.
You've had plenty of time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, is he supposed to have already beaten the game? Like, is it that short?
You
10 to
can
12
if
hours, I
you
think.
if you want to. Yeah, in 12 hours if you want to do like majority of the stuff. If you want
Yeah, you just
100%
don't have
completion,
to.
you'll take 24 or 25 hours. If you want all the
I mean, you
collectibles
just
and
don't
everything.
have. You just don't have to work, right? Have free time. So yeah, that's how
Hmm
we do it.
I've also
Mm.
been tired because I've been sick.
That's not
Sometimes
So,
gaming
yeah,
isn't fun when you're sick, you know?
so
Sometimes
you're
it's not that
saying you're
fun.
sick and tired. Okay. Yeah, I know
Okay,
that
Paul.
feeling.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait a minute. You're sick? No, just kidding.
Yes.
I usually don't pay attention whatsoever to what you say at all, but like right now, I'm what? No, just
Fabio.
we are just throwing shots at each other. Sorry.
Hey, we should ask POWERMAN how his day's going.
Well,
No,
we
nobody
get
cares
there.
about Power Man.
Mr. Paul, Mr. House, Mr. Paul. What have you been playing, Paul?
Mostly WoW, you know, because Midnight launched officially, so I'm leveling stuff up and getting better gear and things like that. I did try the new WWE 2K26. I sent it back, so not because it's broken, but because they tweaked the controls a little bit. So, and I wasn't having fun. I'm like, I am not going to spend money on a game I'm not going to enjoy. So,
What's your main on WoW?
my main on WoW is a hunter.
Beastmaster?
Yep. Because
Nice.
I prefer to solo, so Beastmaster's the way to go, you know?
Yeah, it's great for leveling content too.
Yep.
Wait. There's actually a meta in WoW.
Yes, huge, man. Huge meta.
Yep.
I'm
Always
really
changing, always evolving. I main
oh
Havoc
yeah.
Demon
So
Hunter.
okay, I'm really surprised. Like just like every single online game has a meta, just like League of Legends. Like I'm surprised about that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much to do in that game that there's multiple metas. There's a PvP meta, a PvE raid meta, mythic keys. There's so much to do, and there's metas within those specific things that you do. So
Yep.
There. Finally got everything taken care of with the inclusion of a fifth camera. But I had to alter the 4 setup and not. Oh well. All right. POWERMAN 4K. Dude, what you been playing? How you been? Where did you go? And how quickly did it take them to pay the ransom to get you out of Hawk?
Yeah.
well, guys, it's good to be back. I always appreciate being able to reach out to you and hop on and kind of check out everything. I have been hanging around. Unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but I got some work promotions, and that came with a lot more time dumps and commitments. But I'm now kind of at a point where I can kind of not so much do what I want, but I kind of write my own schedule and write schedules for the people under me, so I can kind of do with that what I will. As far as what I'm playing, I picked up an ROG Xbox Ally X this week.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I have been. It's really cool. Like it's so they did the whole update with the Xbox sounds and all that good stuff on the app there, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but the Xbox Ally X it's like one of the only devices right now that's using the Xbox overlay or the Xbox full screen mode that's on PC. So it's really close, man. It's really close. I mean, there's like these little you get these cool moments where you really feel like you're having a handheld console moment, and then Windows kind of sneaks its like ugly head up and reminds you that it's still a thing back there. Um, but it's awesome. I mean, Forza Horizon 5. I feel like I'm playing a console experience on it, which is really cool. Um, and believe it or not, I got back into the Division 2. It's been really good lately. I've got really kind of obsessed with that game for some reason.
That game is interesting because nobody talks about it, but it still has a pretty high player base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still like chugging along. There's a lot of
Yeah.
content. They have like a realism mode now where you can like one shot or get one shot. So it's a pretty interesting challenge. But I've always liked the idea of the Division. You know what I mean? Especially the first game, I thought was really cool. So yeah, that's about it. I've been dabbling in stuff on my ROG, but I haven't had a lot of time to test it yet. But I got some stuff downloading.
Well, I've been playing that TGC store simulator. It is kind of. I've gotten lost in it a couple of nights where I've looked up and it's been 11:30 all of a sudden. And I look over at the security cameras on the monitor behind me, and I see that all the lights in the house are off because everybody's gone to bed, and I should be there too. Yeah, I'm about halfway through Resident Evil 9. A couple of the RTS games that I play have had some updates. I've been playing HELIX again. Tempest Rising just came out with a quality of life update. Been playing Last Caretaker. I'm kind of running out of stuff to do. I've got 106 hours in it right now on Steam. That's the gameplay that's on screen now. I was putting off going and checking out the underwater ruins for like for log entries and stuff like that. I've gotten back into it just because it's a neat game and I really like it. Yeah. Other than that, let's see. No, just enjoying life, working hard. Shout out to Thimber in the chat, Johnny in the chat. Glad to see you back. Let's see. Yeah. That's about it. My basketball team won today. Going to the next round of the ACC tournament tomorrow. Probably gonna lose. Yeah, but it is what it is. But yeah, like I say every episode, the audio version of this will go up tomorrow on demand wherever you get your audio show from. And yeah, let's get into it. So today, Xbox and Jason Ronald spoke at the GDC on the future of Xbox. And to bring up some of the bullet points, here. This is off of IGN's site. Some of the bullet points of what he said was, it is powered by a custom AMD SoC. We've already seen the specs of it. It is a massive, monstrous APU. It's like 450 cubic millimeters, which is just, it's gigantic. It's crazy.
It's a big boy. Yes.
Yes. It's a very big boy. It's almost twice the size of what the speculation has been for the SoC of the PS6. It's almost twice the size of it. It is co-designed for the next generation of DirectX 13, that we haven't seen yet, but it's supposed to be ready to go with it. With the ray tracing reconstruction.
Yeah, they got to put all the bugs in place before we get to see it.
Yeah.
I always loved DirectX when it first launches. It's like, ouch, ouch, ouch.
Yeah. Stop biting me, bug. Stop biting me. Yeah, and then the next bullet point here, the next gen ray tracing performance and capabilities.
I hope so. With the power we're supposed to be getting, it better be able to do it right.
Yes. With the power of this, it is looking like it's going to run games better than my 4080 Super. Because my 4080 Super tech power up says it's about 52 point something teraflops of Ada Lovelace architecture. And with the modest overclock, I've done the calculations, I get about 56. And
nice.
The lowest estimate that I've seen for Project Helix is 60. Yeah. It's going to run games better than my PC does. So
I had heard it was 64 compute units. Is that right? 64?
68.
Or is that just speculation?
I believe it's 68, cut down from 72 or 70 for high yield numbers. And it's going to be on a 2 nanometer process.
My hope is that even though it can do ray tracing, still let us turn that shit off, please. Because most games really don't need it. It doesn't do any good.
That's one of the things I don't like about the last
looks
Caretaker
prettier.
that I've been playing, because you don't have the option. It's on by default, and it does cause issues because it hits a couple of the CPU cores really hard with the world simulation.
Yeah. That's why we've always said this generation was not ready for ray tracing. They couldn't handle it. You turned it on and things slowed bottleneck really bad. And even if the next one can, I'd rather still be able to turn it off and get that performance boost.
And then there's another thing here that they've highlighted that I guess it's new, called GPU directed work graph execution, which is I would probably know it in layman's terms, but in that speak, I don't understand what it is.
Yeah, I'll freely admit I forgot all about them doing their thing today and haven't looked into it at all because, like I said, I've been kind of blah. But
this will utilize because right now AMD, the FSR 4 works with RDNA 4, which is the latest round of GPUs, the 9070 XT, basically the 9000 series of GPUs from AMD. And I got to be honest with you, FSR has really matured now. It's not a downgrade to use FSR on an AMD GPU instead of DLSS on a NVIDIA GPU. It's not what it used to be. FSR has actually matured now, and it's pretty comparable. Especially the newest iteration of it. It's pretty good. And apparently RDNA 5 is going to use what's called FSR Next, not FSR 4. And that's the next bullet point. FSR Next plus Project Helix going to be built for the next generation of neural rendering, next generation of machine learning upscaling, new machine learning multi-frame generation, and next gen ray regeneration for ray tracing and path tracing. Yeah, it's sounds good. It sounds cool. It sounds like this is going to be my primary gaming PC, which will work out for me in a dual PC setup. That way I can take the playing the game workload off my GPU and just use it for encoding a stream. I can have a streaming only PC, and I can run everything through my capture card that's in my streaming PC.
That's
is
been
great.
my dream setup for a few years now. That I want to actually have two PCs, one for playing, one for capturing that play. So
yeah, one for capturing that play and using all of its horsepower just to encode it and stream it at the same time. If I try to do that right now, I get encoder overloads because I'm trying to run the game, render it, and play it, and at the same time encode it, and running it and playing it doesn't give me enough headroom with the NVEC encoders that need that horsepower. And having a dual PC setup will be so sweet, and it'll get rid of a console on my desk here. I can I don't know. I can give my Series X to somebody that's less fortunate, maybe a Brazilian that doesn't have a console right now. I don't know.
you could you could pull your son up from his 1X,
That too.
Yeah.
Because right,
I mean,
go ahead. What you saying?
I mean, I don't know why would you waste your console on a Brazilian, but no, just kidding.
Well, only if he really wants to get one, though, dude. It's just that's up to him.
No, we are forcing.
We don't judge here.
We are shoving the fucking console up on his throat. Like you're gonna get it and you're gonna like it. Shut the fuck up, Finber.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Paul. I don't have a problem with ray tracing anymore because of the PC that I have. Ray tracing doesn't bother. Using DLSS in quality, even at 4K, I'm still pulling 80 frames a second with ray tracing turned on.
But that's fine. But look at the PC you have with the tech you have behind it. You're in a very minority of those people.
Right, and what I'm saying is Project Helix is going to be better than the PC that I have. So on Project Helix, you shouldn't be afraid of ray tracing. Yeah. It's going to handle it just fine.
I would say hold off on that. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying until I see it all in practice, because they are also introducing a lot of AI and all that stuff into the overhead. So let's see how it all works together.
Yeah.
All that stuff you just rattled off. A lot of that stuff you just rattled off is AI, and it's all going to take a little bit overhead.
Yeah. I mean, they did also say that 60 FPS is going to always be the standard, and yet we are still having 40 FPS games.
You just can't let it go, can you? You just can't let it go.
I mean, I'm just saying. And it's not just about the console. It's not just about what they are saying. Developers also need to wake the fuck up and start learning how to properly optimize.
Wow.
I think that's a good industry for Capcom, right? Because they just hit on all cylinders and they make really good, really well optimized games overall. And I kind of shrug my shoulders at other developers that seem to not be able to do that. And Capcom's done it multiple times in a row with different games in different genres. Obviously, the RE engine is awesome. So, maybe not use Unreal for everything. Maybe start branching out and using something else.
They need to.
What you're saying is heresy, good sir.
Yeah,
Because
the new Halo's coming out on Unreal Engine 5. We can't say anything bad about it anymore.
Oh my god. It might be okay, but the pre-compilation stutter, anybody that's on PC, it's an Unreal thing. It's built into it, and it's just a part of it. You know, anybody who loads up Fortnite or anything else like that, you know, you realize when you first download it, you got that pre-compilation stutter for the first 2 hours, even if you've got a 5090, you know. So
I'll be back.
Yeah, I know. I get the same. That's one of the problems with that the game, The Last Caretaker, that I deal with is it's UE5 and not being able to turn off. I mean, you could turn it off, but you got to go into the game files. You got to go into the data files.
Yeah,
And
and that's old
Hey,
school.
Bob.
We should be
Or
beyond that. That's
yeah, it should be an option in the graphic settings, but it's not. And last but not least, yo,
Hey, so if you're saying it's gonna be more powerful than your PC, what do you think the price range would be? Because isn't the die supposed to be smaller? And since it's going to be co-developed with AMD for the sockets, wouldn't that make it a little bit cheaper than if they did it in a different route?
yeah.
Or no?
See, I've seen a lot
You would
of
think
price
so.
estimates, and people keep. You can't put a price tag. You can't add up consumer end individual components, the prices of them, and then say that that's what this is going to cost. You can't do that because this is all bought in bulk. You know, there's so many. You're going to have
Based
so
off your
many
expertise,
lots.
what would you price it at off of your knowledge, you and Paul, because you both have good PCs. So my question is,
No
if
less
you
than
had
a
to look
thousand.
at it from the RAM shortage and everything, what would you price it? If you had to be on Microsoft's shoes.
I would, to be honest with you,
99.
components only cost. It's
Yeah,
going to
just
cost.
yeah, just
It's going to
components.
cost them
Mhm.
$900 to make each unit. They
Yeah,
could,
so what, 999?
yes, 999.
I think it's still going to be pushing closer to 12 by the time all said and done.
I don't.
Well, yeah,
I really don't.
I was looking at someone that was explaining, and they're like, well, you know what? Microsoft's probably looking at the Xbox Series X 2 TB that's already $800, and they're like, oh, you're not willing to dish out 300 more to get more powerful, more better console that can actually run PC games, and it'll be ready to go out the gate. You can just plug it in, turn it on, and it literally boots Windows and it plays your Xbox games.
To be
He was
fair,
playing
the
devil's
Series
advocate.
X consoles have been artificially inflated. You know what I mean? Due to tariffs and like
Oh no.
whatever's going on with Microsoft. So I wouldn't expect that to be like the standard in a year or 2 years whenever this thing finally launches.
Well, of
They've already,
course. So those
yeah,
will go down in price.
yeah, they've been talking about that the by the end of the year the market should be stabilizing on RAM. Nvidia just came out and said that
The X and S is
they're
tainted.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're talking about a 50, 60, 12 gig, and they're also looking at potentially re-upping because the original plan was to have 50 series super cards out later this year. That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Now they just filed patents for the 50, 60, 12 gig, which people that I follow on YouTube are saying that's usually indications of a sign of like things stabilizing, or you know, otherwise why would you make a 50, 60, 12 gig if it's expensive? You know what I mean? So
So it'll probably
hopefully,
stabilize next
hopefully,
year, 2028. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Plus, Microsoft's going to buy this stuff in bulk. They're going to get massive
Oh yeah,
amounts
they're gonna go the
of
Costco route.
yeah.
They
You
don't
know,
go the Walmart route. They're like, I'm
they
buying it
have
all in bulk.
Microsoft has to look at the optics of this. I feel like you really want to stay under that 4-digit price tag. So I think 999 would be something that would be just under. You could sell it as a premium product, and you could say, "Hey, listen,
Yep.
this is going to be crazier than anything that anybody who's ever played on a console has ever had attached to their their
Yeah.
TV." So
Yeah.
you keep it under 1,000, you make $100 off of it per console, and then hopefully you invest in the ecosystem.
Yeah. I could see that actually working because people could just save up for it, or you can do because I know they're still doing this. They're allowing you to not lease, but yeah, actually, I think it's lease. Basically, you pay a monthly flat fee for the console, and you pay it off like a phone plan. You know how you can pay for like so many years for like amount of dollars a month. I could see them also putting that for the new console for people that don't want to outright pay it.
Yeah. I mean, and you can't look at it as like I've seen some people say, well, 9.99, that doesn't make any sense because this is going to be a lot more
Well, then
powerful
you
than
got
their
taxes that
handheld,
puts you right
but they
over a
sold their
thousand.
handheld for 1,000.
Yeah, so
That
it
wasn't
actually
their
makes sense.
handheld. That wasn't their handheld. They had no control over the
I
pricing.
know,
That was made by Asus. So
true.
or
And
Asus.
Asus is, especially the ROG line of products. Like my PC is the Asus ROG G700. They're notoriously. I mean, you're paying for the ROG logo. You're paying for, I mean, the build quality. Overall.
They're the Apple of gaming. They're
Yeah. I mean,
like
they have
you
they're like their
you
own
pay
little
for the name.
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately,
Yep.
I
But I
mean,
will say I love them. I'm almost a fanboy.
Oh no,
I love the
they're a
PC.
good
I love
company. I'm
yeah,
just saying you're paying for the actual brand,
exactly,
but this they
exactly.
actually have shit to back it up though.
yeah. Like my last 4 motherboards have been ROG. So, I mean, I
That's
guess I'm a
good.
fanboy too. Um, it's
Yep.
just it's
Yeah,
just
they
it's
make
what
good
it
stuff.
is.
I mean, they're the Asus line of graphics cards so far that I've dealt with has been the coolest. I mean, as far as temperature wise, like the coolest temps. And I've had like zero stability issues.
Well, I mean, they've
Um,
also got a heatsink on that's the size of a car.
yeah,
They're,
yeah, it's pretty solid.
yeah, pretty big. I'll stick with my Zotac.
I heard that they might make an option where you can plug in an external graphics card into the new Xbox
No,
for the
no, no,
PC.
God, no.
No. No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it's going to need it, to be honest. I don't think
if
it'll
they
need
had the
that.
if they designed architecture to take a external graphics card, you might as well just say this thing will be $1,500 because
Yeah.
you're getting into a real niche type of category there. It's like the handheld. I can't remember what it is. It's the 395Z or the 395 Plus. The one it's a handheld that's also liquid cooled that you could hook it up to a liquid cooler. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
handheld.
they have laptops like that too. Ridiculous.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
My question is how big is the SSD or the hard drive going to be? Because 1 terabyte won't cut it. It just won't. Not with the games nowadays. Unless if they compress it, but I don't see them doing that before they launch it. I
Yeah.
really don't.
See, that's just
They
it though.
should,
I mean,
but
the
we'll
games
see.
on Steam aren't as they're not huge. They're not that big.
No, they're not.
So, and this is going to play PC games as well. And they would be really smart to incorporate because I really like the SSD, the expansion slot setup they have on the series consoles.
I love that. Yeah.
And now they're making them. You can buy a 4 terabyte now. It's expensive, but
I
you
was gonna say
can.
it's about $400. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
still stupid. It's
really
still about $100
expensive,
a terabyte. Yeah.
but it's still like a really neat. And if you saw the schematics of what it is, it shares the pipeline, the PCI Express lanes directly with the SoC. So it's right in parallel with the SSD that's soldered to the board. This is
Yep.
just an extension of it. It's a really cool design, and eventually the prices of this stuff is going to come down. I would stick with the expansion option you have now and just carry it on because that works out for people that have got a series console and they move to Project Helix. Well, they don't have to buy another drive. They already have the drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heck, I have 2 of those expansion cards, so if they do that route, I'm set.
You know what? They should make it so you can plug in 2 of them at the same time.
That would be neat. I would love to see
Yeah.
that. Put 2 of them in. That would be awesome.
I mean, shit, PlayStation did it back in the day. So did Xbox Original. Xbox Original had the cartridges you could plug in.
Remind me, they're not hot swappable, are they?
Yes, they are. Oh, absolutely, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Really? I can just, while my Xbox is running, as long as I'm not playing the game off that drive, I can just pull that drive out and pop in another.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've done it. Yeah, it works. They are hot swappable.
Yeah, it's nice.
So I could keep like a certain genre of game on this one and another genre on this one, and then everything that's
what I do.
Yeah, I've done that. I had one that was strictly my Call of Duty Flight Simulator drive. So when I wanted those games, I would just pop that one in.
Yeah, Johnny in the chat says he'd rather see them add an M.2 slot along with the expansion card.
Now, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. I can see them doing it.
The M.2s are cheaper, but right now the NAND prices are going up too. NAND's getting hit just like RAM is.
Just go crazy, go ham with the fucking design.
Yeah, they said this is going to be a premium niche product, you know, for enthusiasts. So just give me every option.
You might as well, yeah. Do the expansion slot and then do the 2 sticks, like we were talking. So we have like enough storage to put everything on it. So if you want to download 6 GTAs, you can. Let's go crazy.
Go crazy. Oh yeah. Oh.
I don't see Paul. All I see is a pig in the screen.
Yeah.
That's funny. Xbox Wire kind of went, so that was, we looked at IGN's breakdown of it. Xbox Wire went a little farther into detail. They're actually, we've seen the full screen experience. That is currently what they're using on the ROG line of Xbox handhelds. Starting in April, they're going to start rolling out what's called Xbox Mode. Xbox Mode will be coming to Windows in select markets, and it's going to bring a familiar Xbox experience to players while keeping the flexibility and openness of Windows. Now, see, I want them to stop using this as a selling factor, because that's what gamers don't like about Windows is the openness. The only openness that I want with this hybrid is the ability to run other storefronts. That's it. I don't want Office. I don't want Copilot. I don't want anything. I don't even want to see a start menu. I want to open and
I want to be able to like mod or do emulators on it, but yeah, I don't want Office. I don't want Word. I don't want any of that bullshit.
Yeah, none of that crap.
It's not a work. It's not a work console. It's a fucking console.
I don't even want to get my updates through the Microsoft Store.
No, it should be just through the Xbox system itself. Because if they're going to blend it, and like other people have been saying, like the only way they see is working properly, where everybody's happy, is if you allow people to download the storefronts, and then they're able to do whatever they want. If they want to mod it, if they want to emulate it, whatever. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the updates have to be handled through Xbox, not through the Windows version.
It's probably all going to come through the Windows version, dude. There is no Xbox version. It's all going to come through Windows, dude. That's just the way it's going to be. They're not going to run 2 separate update systems when they don't need to, because it is essentially a Windows machine.
Well, then they're gonna have to make it so that it automatically downloads it, because like I mean, I don't mind. I could just go.
Well, they already do that. They already do that.
Yeah, but there's some updates that don't go through. You actually need to review them before you actually update them. There are some that don't go through.
Not for the gaming side.
No, not for the gaming side, but
and not even for the PC side. all my stuff is automatically updated always.
Now the other question is the drivers, because that's the other thing. Because remember how you need your video driver, you need your graphics driver, you need all your drivers to be up to date. How are they going to manage that? Are they going to
See,
do like a system that automatically does that, or what? Because like us here on this Discord, we're fine with it. But the other problem is people that don't go into this much depth about console gaming or just gaming in general won't know shit. And so what will
that's
Right.
happen
where
is
that's where
they'll be
Xbox
lost.
that's where Xbox mode is gonna need to step in and do that for you.
Yeah, it's
Because
going to have to fill it into one program.
I only use two things. When it comes to drivers, I use Armory Crate because everything in my PC, because it is a ROG board, the ROG boards have everything on board. I mean, everything on board. My audio is on board. My network on board. It's all on board. The only thing that's not on board is my video card and my capture card. That's it. So Armory Crate, when I open Armory Crate and I look for updates, a motherboard update is coming with the NIC, the audio, the South Bridge. It's coming with everything. And then the NVIDIA app, occasionally I go in and I see if there's a new driver. I don't use the game ready drivers. I use the studio drivers. Studio drivers are, I mean, they're just as good. They've been tested further. Yeah, they're more stable for what I use them for. But
The
those two
reason why
things,
I asked you that was because Microsoft's going to answer all this shit before they release that console. Because, like I said, a majority of us will understand it, but the other part of people that will pick it up won't understand a damn thing. Like you're explaining it to us and everybody watching the show, they probably got an idea of what you're talking about, or at least they've at least heard about it before. But
correct.
I
to
mean, they should
the
at
regular
least.
consumers, they're not going to, and they're yeah, I can see them already
The regular
bitching and moaning.
consumer is probably not going
Being
to buy
like,
this
I bought
thing.
$1,000 console and it doesn't work. I can see them bitching already. I can see
Yeah,
them
I
just
think
throwing a freaking
that
fit.
I think that's kind of why they've. I mean, my guess is why they're starting to get kind of get ahead of it and kind of constantly remind people that it's a niche product for the ultra enthusiast, because I don't know if right now if Microsoft is expecting your average run of the mill guy who just wants a console to pick up $1,000 Xbox Helix. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I just don't like who does that appeal to?
I
You know what I
mean,
mean? Like it appeals to you and me and other like really hardcore diehard gamers, but you know, Tommy down the street who works a 40, 50 hour work week and just wants to come home and play Call of Duty every now and then. I don't think he wants or even needs $1,000 console to access or do that. You know what I mean? So I don't know a
Yeah,
world where
you're
they
better.
could market it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I
in
mean, I
order for
think it is
this,
more of a situation. I think it is more of a situation, not necessarily of like, oh yeah, it is like only the hardcore that every single hardcore player is going to get this console because like there are some hardcore players that really want to have it but they just can't because it's way too expensive and it happens. So their option either becomes like for them to make a cheaper version either from third party or by themselves, or you go through cloud because Microsoft's investments to cloud gaming have actually managed to make the necessity for you to follow the FOMO, the fear of missing out the next generation, like irrelevant because you just get to play the game that you acquire through cloud. But like if they are going and counting that people are going to, oh yeah, they can go through clouds, they need to upgrade cloud gaming into making as seamless to the console experience as possible. They need to upgrade xCloud.
I mean, I I would argue that xCloud's pretty seamless right now.
It
No,
is
no, it is
for
really
what
good.
they have.
It is really good. But there are some people who are still complaining because they
But
are not
see,
going to have
all of the,
such a good
some of that is
connection.
outside. Some of that is outside of Microsoft's control, dude. Microsoft doesn't control all
It's
the
called get
ISPs
good
in the world.
internet.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yeah, but
it
yeah,
sucks
yeah,
to say
I
that, but
understand it.
they can't
But they
fix
still
everything.
control the fact. Yeah, but they still control the fact that they prefer to just charge $1,000 on a console and make a lot of people be stuck to cloud.
Well,
That's the
Well, look at it
situation.
like this: you can still play your X and S games on the Series X and S, and newer games will still be supported on the X and S. You can always play also the cloud. They did make a statement on that. You can cloud stream the newer games through your console,
Yes,
so you
that,
you can do
that's
that
really good. Oh yeah,
rather than
that's what I'm
being forced
saying.
to upgrade. So you don't have to upgrade if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not a demand. Like you can just stream the new
Yeah.
games until you get enough money, then buy the new console eventually.
Oh yeah, but that's what I said. Like they kill the FOMO from
okay,
the next
but
generation.
okay. Let me ask you a question. You're saying they have to. What do you expect them to do? Oh, I'm sorry, your internet's not good enough, so we're going to buy you Skylink and we'll pay for it for the rest of your life. There's some
I don't
things that
know,
are
and
out of
it's just
Microsoft's control, dude. Sorry, you
yes,
know.
but yes, I understand. So make
So
either
what do you
full
expect
for.
them to do? How do you
Why
expect
are you
them?
interrupting me? Why are you interrupting me? Can I finish the
Go
thought
no, go
here,
ahead, go ahead. Tell me how you expect them to deal with it.
please? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say because there's no way for anyone to answer you that question. That's really dumb. Don't think
But
that
that's what
what
you've
I'm
been
going to
saying.
say.
But that's what you've been saying. Well, they need
No,
to think
I'm
about
not.
that. You said they need to make it better. How can they make something
Yes, they
better that
need
is
to make.
outside their control?
Yes,
I
just
mean,
yes, just
No,
improve
no,
xCloud any way they can.
I
that
What?
think
makes
X-
no
I
sense.
think I
That
think
makes zero
xCloud.
sense.
Look, I think xCloud is as good right now as it's going to get, depending on your network. Because when you stream anything, I don't care if you're trying to do Netflix at 4K HDR, it's not Netflix's fault if your internet is
Right.
not good enough to do that. Cloud streaming right now on my internet, my son, I've launched games for him over his cloud and helped him get through stuff, and I can't tell a difference. The loading screen to get the game running on cloud is no different than takes no longer than the loading screen for the credits the first time you start a game.
Yeah.
It's just and
And
they're
there's
planning
other
on
variables that come
supporting
into
this.
there's
They're
yeah,
planning
there's
on
other
supporting
variables
the
that come into
series
play too,
consoles
like
for another
Wi-Fi.
5 or 6 years, probably even longer
Yeah.
than that.
Which is a good thing. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, that signals that this next console might be the last console. Then, if they're going to do that, because this one will be the most powerful one, and if you're saying what you're saying that they're gonna keep on supporting the X and S, that'll just be the lower range price option. And then if you want the most powerful, you want the best, you get the Helix.
I believe they decided a few years ago that the support for dead products or end of life products was going to be 10 years, and that's where it stops at the 10-year mark. But it doesn't
I
mean
mean,
full
we are.
support like you're going to get all the same games and stuff. It just means there'll be some support.
I was surprised
No, no, no.
360 stuck around
But like,
as long as it did.
but like,
Yeah,
but like
Yeah,
yeah.
in that no, no. But like in that situation, they have been pretty faithful because like in terms of their first party games, they have been giving some really nice supports. But of course, you cannot control the third party companies.
yeah. Not unless you own them, but then they would get in trouble. 'Cause then they'd be in a
Unless
monopoly
you own.
situation. So, yep.
Or unless you
So,
own them.
guys,
Exactly.
I feel like I want let me hop in here because so I told you guys I have the ROG Xbox Ally X, right?
Yeah.
So I've been messing with it for a while, and it's kind of become clear what I think Microsoft's vision is, right? So the big issue right now that we're all talking about is who is the Xbox Helix for, right? It's not for a casual market. right? So what do you
Yeah,
do?
for sure.
How do you access a casual market or a lower tiered market when you have such a high tier device that you're trying to sell? Well, that's where the Xbox overlay on PC is going to step in. I'm telling you, they're going to tell you, if you want, go build your PC, run Xbox full screen mode, and now you have an Xbox that makes all the Xbox sounds, pops all the achievements, has all your Xbox friends on it, does all the things that the Xbox Ally X is. There's no reason for them to continue to develop and push this onto other devices if they don't plan on using it on a full scale. There's no reason to continue developing it. Otherwise, it would just be an ROG Xbox Ally X feature, and that would be kind of the end of it. But I think that what they're going to tell you is,
Exactly.
hey, you can get the Helix if you want it. It's $1,000. It's going to be a great product. This is the price. We can't go any lower. And if you want a true Xbox experience, you can build a computer and then run Xbox overlay on top of it on your living room TV or whatever. It's apparently a thing that people are doing on a regular basis anyways. People are using big OLED TVs with PCs and doing all this kind of stuff. And the main thing holding a lot of people back is essentially being able to sit back on your couch, press the Xbox button and turn it on. You know what I mean? Like that's the main, that's the main convenience of a console that PC is missing. You know what I mean? So if they find a way to somehow integrate the Xbox controller into the startup function, or be able to boot straight into Xbox over that, which you can do with Steam Big Picture mode right now. You can set your computer up to turn it on and boot straight into Big Picture. So there's no reason that Xbox, and I don't see a world where they wouldn't want to do that long term anyways, because you don't want to alienate. As soon as you alienate the people that can only afford a $300 to $500 console, you are literally giving PlayStation a layup and telling them if they're anywhere from $200 to $300 cheaper than your device, it's a no-brainer for most people that are like more budget minded, which most console gamers are. That's why they game on console for the most part. Your average, more casual, your Madden, your FIFAs, your Fortnite and Warzone guys, most of them just want to get in there and play. They're not worried about specs. They're not worried about RAM. They just want to, I work with these guys. I know how they operate. So you have to be able to capture that audience is what I'm saying.
And I think in order for them to do that, I do believe that the Series S and the Series X are in a good place to still be the not enthusiast option for console gamers. The problem is they need to bring that price back down for the series consoles. If you're going to
Yeah.
put this $1,000 enthusiast product out there, then in order for you got to do one of two things. You got to slash that Game Pass price, make it more acceptable, or you got to drop the price of your consoles. It's got to give. You can't raise them both and expect to keep customers and grow your adoption rate. You can't do that. It's like making a car that you've bought you've bought the same model the last 3 times you went to buy a new car, but now all of a sudden, Game Pass went up a third? It went up 33% of its price. It went from 20 to 30. That's like charging me that much more for the car that I've bought the last 3 times. I'm going to go find another car. I'm not going to buy the next Explorer. If the last one I bought was 40, but all of a sudden this one's 60, but it does all the same stuff that my $40,000 one did, I'm just going to go switch brands to another $40,000 one because that's what I'm used to paying for the product. They need to do something. And I know the hardware constraints right now with the pricing of RAM and NAND and everything, I don't buy that. I think that has something to do with it, but when a console has been in the market for 6 years, trust me, your process has been refined. They're not having to think anything over anymore. So your components are a little more expensive. They're buying sheets of these chips. Sheets in the manufacturing line that are being wave soldered onto boards. it's a mass production. It's not like Joe Blow has to buy these parts and sit at his desk and solder
Yeah.
them on the board. And here you go. This price is going to be reflected directly into the cost for you. No, it's going to be a little more expensive. But when it's been in the market for 6 years, it's not
It should
apples
be
to
half off
apples.
by
Yeah,
then.
it's not apples to apples. I don't expect it to be as cheap as other consoles have gotten 6 years into their life cycle in the past, but it sure as hell shouldn't go the fuck up.
Yeah, it
This is
shouldn't.
just stupid. This is borderline gouging. You can't blame it on the hardware being more expensive when your process has been in place for 6 years.
Exactly. How do you market? How do you say, hey, go buy this Series X that's $150 more than it was in the year 2020? That's had zero upgrades or done anything other than that. This is
You
not
drop the
something
price
that
by 200 during the holidays.
yeah. I mean, they need a
That's what I would do.
25%. Yeah, and that thing is like think about that. That would just get it back down to what it was supposed to cost. You know,
Yep.
at this late in the generation, and the previous generations, you could go get a console for $399 during Christmas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like $299, like sometimes for Black Friday.
I'd be aggressive. Me, if I was Asha Sharma, I'd be aggressive and I'd drop it down to 300, drop the Series S down to 100, watch it fly up the shelves for the regular people, and do an
That's
advertisement
crazy.
where you bring out. You know what I would do? I would have the blue pill and the red pill thing that they do in the Matrix. Have Keanu Reeves hold a red pill and a blue pill. The blue pill is you got the cheaper option, which is X and S, which are now cut in half of what the original price was originally. Or if you want the more lavish, more pristine premium package, you get the Helix for $1,000 or $1,200 by taking the red pill. The choice is yours. That's what I would do personally. That's how I would market it. You just make that in a 3 or 2 minute ad. That's good enough. It would
I
sell
mean,
like hotcakes.
one of the problems as well with Microsoft right now is that they need to go back into believing in other regions as well. I don't know
That
how
too.
is the if you are like having any sort of shortage of series consoles there or any sort of thing like that. But here in Brazil, an Xbox Series X is like impossible to find. You don't find in any stores.
Oh yeah.
At most you are going to be finding an Xbox Series S, and any Series X pre-owned that you see in a physical store. It's just like the guys just bought it and they are already selling it. My Series X that I got for Christmas was just like that. The guy left like 2 days ago. I show up, I saw the console there, and I didn't hesitate. Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah, they need to do a better job of marketing in other countries that are like outside the ones that they do well in because like Joey from Dirk Riggity's podcast, right? Joey he lives in Panama. He's always griping about it like this is PlayStation land. He's like there's hardly no Xbox marketing. Nobody knows what an Xbox is. Everybody says it's shit. He's like, you can't even find Xboxes down here, and if you do, they're outrageously priced because of the difference, the currency exchange.
X-
And then
Xbox
like
should be
over where, yeah,
just as available as a
it's
copy of
bad. They need to
Windows
do
for a
better.
PC.
Yep,
Yes,
they need
that's
to
what
do hardcore marketing. That's why I brought up the idea I did. Like that would be a cool like advertisement to see on TV or billboards or whatever. You want to take the
like
red pill? You want to
previous
take the blue pill?
because
Yeah.
that's like the really strange part of it because you get to find accessories, controllers, gadgets. You get to find other Microsoft products and Windows subscription that you can have license that you want to have. You get to find it in like in really good amounts here, but for some reason, console-wise, it's really it's really bad. They just gave up in that situation of making the thing available to people.
So, do we think this? Do we think this strategy will work? I mean, so far? What have they said and done? The things that is going to? Is it a good start to make them relevant again?
I think so. In terms of
I
turning
think
the
that
chapter, yeah. Otherwise, no.
I think it comes down to what I said, which is like improve your message instead of like saying that the console is an option in the ecosystem. Try to say this instead of saying like this is an ecosystem with a console. Try to say this is a console with an ecosystem. You know what I mean? The center
Or
part
you could
is
just
the
say,
console.
this is the best place to play it natively. And you point at the Xbox Series X and S and the Helix. This is the best place to play natively. And if you want, you can play the Xbox OS or Xbox mode on your PC, or you can play on the ROG Ally X as other options. Otherwise, the best place to play is on our consoles. And then they point out all three of those. That's what they should do. 30-second ad right there. There you go.
I would have said that if it was going to come out this year into next year, but don't forget, guys, the next generation of graphics cards are on the way as well. You know what I mean? Like 60
Yep.
series NVIDIA, and then whatever AMD is going to do. So it's going to be, like the Helix is going to be great, for where we are right now, and a huge leap. But I wonder how much Windows is going to be into it, and like I said, just the user interface and just the everyday user experience. Like, what are they going to be dealing with if they try to play Call of Duty and it's constantly crashing because of a bad driver, or you know just error messages that people just aren't used to. You know what I mean? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier when we're talking about just, what's the other person going to do with this information if they spend $1,000 and they're like, why isn't this thing working? You know what I mean? Like a PC
I think it's going to be
gamer,
60-40%. 60% Windows, 40% Xbox. Because they did mention that if you read one of the articles, it says this is going to be a PC at heart. They did say that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I think that they're going to do exactly what they did with the ROG Ally X. You'll boot up as an Xbox, and then you'll be able to back out and go into full Windows if you want. Because that seems the most feasible thing to do, personally. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Unless if they somehow merge them. I mean, good luck with that shit, but I don't know how they would do that. But maybe you guys know, but I don't. So I would just say boot in the Xbox, and then if you want to go out, you want to install like graphics mods to make the game look better, or you want to emulate, play older games, whatever, who gives a shit, you can just go do that. You can play Steam games, whatever, and then go back in the Xbox mode whenever you want.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I've always wanted a dual PC setup that me and Paul have talked about. It's a no-brainer for me. I mean, it's going to be my Xbox
How
console
powerful is your
and my
PC?
gaming.
You said it's gonna be more powerful.
Yes.
It's going to be more powerful than my existing PC. I'll tell you that right now.
I think people shouldn't be bitching and moaning about the price if it's gonna beat Steve-O's PC. Okay, you got bad feedback, Fabio.
What do you mean?
I think we're picking up a
I got
radio station
bad
over your
feed-
headset.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm
I got-
picking
I-
something up.
It's gone now.
Yep.
Is it better?
Oh. Yeah, it's good. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
Well,
Apparently
I
that radio
heard it a
station's
second.
off
Yeah,
air.
something's buzzing in. Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
You're choppy. Part of it is you're a little choppy too.
I've dealt with that before. Like one time I was playing on my surround sound and my subwoofer had a McDonald's drive-through. Like it picked up a radio wavelength of a guy ordering McDonald's. And I was like, I thought I was hearing shit because I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
That's
always
where the
fun.
fuck
funny.
is that coming from? And then
That doesn't happen
I
as
put my
much as
head
it
next
used
to my
to, but yeah,
subwoofer
that's
and I'm like, what the hell? And some guy's like, I want 40 nuggets, I want a Big Mac, I want this. And I'm like, the nearest McDonald's is like 3 blocks down, 4 blocks down. What the fuck?
Hey, they were that hungry. It came through.
yeah.
Um,
Dude, I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and then it finally fixed itself. But God, that was
so
freaky.
I don't
Is it
know.
better now? Like I just turned off the camera just to see if it gets less choppy. Then
No,
Nope.
no,
didn't solve anything.
didn't solve anything at all.
No, you still
No,
sound like you're
great.
farting.
There was
Well, fuck you. Just
damn.
Well, okay.
Hey, there's no more vibration.
And he's back.
He's back.
Does he sound better though?
I don't know. So I
Oh
guess
my
that's what
goodness,
we
you sound great.
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
Oh yeah.
got. There we go.
But
That's what
look,
it was.
I
Just was
think-
doing shit.
like I said, the strategy will work. Okay, you're bringing everybody an extremely premium product, especially PC gamers that console game and PC game. Unless they're rocking a 90 series card like a 4090 or a 5090, this PC is going to play games better than their 5080s or 4080s. Because I mean, just it's going to be RDNA 5.
Go
which
ahead
is
and
gonna
make
use-
fun of my 4060 again. Go ahead. No, I'm kidding.
My goodness.
No worries. No
Yeah, when I
worries.
heard about the RDNA 5, I was like, holy shit. What's Xbox Series X? RDNA 2?
Yes.
Jesus,
And
that's going to be a big leap. People
And
are not ready for this shit.
the best AMD card out right now is a 9070 XT, and it is an RDNA 4 card. It's the only series card that's using FSR 4. So the next
my PC, I get to play Diablo 1 at 60 FPS with no problem.
Diablo 1,
Exactly.
awesome. That's a classic. But yeah, Project
500
Helix is going to
500
be
years old.
it's going to be FSR next. I don't know if when it actually comes to fruition whether they'll actually call it FSR 5, but right now it's FSR next. And I do believe the strategy will work, but like I said, something's got to give. You got to lower Game Pass back down. You got to chop the series console prices at least back to MSRP because hey, the other guys aren't even doing MSRP. At least do MSRP. Something's got to give. I mean, you got people that have consoles. I could take my Series X now and make a profit. And it's 6 years old. Almost 6 years old. It will be in November. And make a profit on it. That's unheard of. 6 years after release. So the strategy will work, but something's got to give. I mean, you're bringing a very premium product. You're regaining that power reign, and it looks like it's gonna last for a while too. Because
Now I remember what I was going to ask you, Steve-O. I remember exactly what I was going to ask you because this was the most important thing. You said, how do you make it more appealing? If this is going to be a PC/Xbox, why don't they cut the paywall out where you have to pay for Xbox Live and just deduct the $12 from the $30 Game Pass Ultimate? Because
they could do that.
it's put into it, so just get rid of that. And that's a good space for the fans. The fans would be willing to still pay that, and they'd be happy. It'd
Well,
shut
like
up the haters.
But like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that sort of like go back into like have that situation? Like, I'm just curious. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but like, wouldn't that cause a situation of, oh yeah, there's the haves and the haven'ts? Because what about the people who still didn't buy? What about the people who doesn't buy the console day one? You know what I mean? They still get to pay
Oh, you can still
for
get Game
Xbox Live.
Pass. You can play it anywhere except for PlayStation. But yeah,
No. But like they still get to pay for the paywall to have internet. You know what I mean? What a problem for them to try to solve,
I
and then
I,
like just
I
so we
personally
don't
wouldn't
have
admit
to,
them.
just so we don't have to like go back into Dome Matrix saying, oh yeah, we got a product for that. It's called the 360. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying they should get rid of it because if they do that, they can lower the price and they can make it look good and save face with the community. And they can say, "Well, we're doing this because people will ask, well, why are you doing that?" There's the catch. There's a catch somewhere, and then you can sit there and say, "No, we're doing it because our next console is a PC and an Xbox, and PC players don't pay for online services in terms of like a subscription to play online. They don't pay for online. So then you can sit there and say, we're showing good faith by stripping it out of Game Pass.
I mean, they're the ones that started it. They should be the ones to remove it first.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Last thing we're gonna go over. I got into it today on Twitter. Actually, it was yesterday. But it carried
Are you
over.
talking about that thing with Paris, or not with Paris, but with Jay Fonzarelli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The math doesn't math. The math does not math here. Somebody with 36 to 38 followers posted on Twitter, and D-Batch shared it. He reposted it. It looked like they had typed out these numbers in Notepad or in notes on their iPhone or something, just taken a screenshot and posted it on Twitter. That out of the 5 million copies of Resident Evil Requiem that have been sold, only 300,000 were sold on Xbox, on the Xbox platform. Now, something doesn't math here because the physical version of Resident Evil Requiem is sold for Xbox. The physical copy is sold out everywhere. You can't find it anywhere. No physical version can you find. You can buy it digitally. That brings me to my next point. If you go to Microsoft/Xbox Store, the highest selling product right now in that store are the 2 versions of Requiem, the deluxe edition and the standard edition. And you're telling me, with the physical copies being sold out and it being the highest paid product right now on their store, they've only sold 300,000 copies. Knowing very well how Xbox is about releasing digital sales numbers, it's something they don't know, they don't do. So how'd you get this $300,000, this 300,000 number? It does, the math doesn't add
He's
up. If
blown
it's sold
smoke up people's asses.
I checked that guy's feed, and basically it came down to trust me, bro. And so,
Yeah,
people
Wasn't
did
there-
ask him that.
Wasn't there like a joke that Paul Tassi made saying that, oh yeah, Battlefield sold 1 million copies more than Resident Evil?
Well, also I looked at this guy's feed, and he's basically all he does is repost shit for draws to win shit, and when he does post a reply, it's usually anti-Xbox and Xbox hate. So yeah, he's got no credibility, at least not with me. Zero. So,
and there it seems to be this growing mantra of Game Pass subscribers. Apparently, we're entitled. We feel entitled, and if it's not in Game Pass, then I'm not going to buy it, and I'm not going to play it until it is. I've never let my Game Pass.
Real quick, Fonz's one-word response was Game Pass, and my first thought was, but this game isn't in Game Pass. It shouldn't be affected by Game Pass numbers at all.
Right.
So
Yeah. That's a dumb yes.
Claire Expedition 33 was in Game Pass.
I will admit that game sales can be affected by Game Pass. I don't tend to buy games if I can play them on Game Pass, you know. And so
No,
do a
that's
lot
what
of
I
other
pay a
people,
subscription
you know?
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Resident Evil
part of
9
my
was not in
subscription.
Game Pass.
I mean, why would you have a subscription if there weren't some benefits to it?
Yeah. You mean you don't want me to save money? You want me to, in fact, spend extra? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Got to support the devs, dude. I mean, right? Not only do I get it on my subservice, but I also have to, and I do some games. That's when I consider the premium edition upgrade. If it's a game I know I'm really going to play a lot of, I'm going to get a lot out of it. I'm going to enjoy all the extra content that I get with the deluxe edition upgrade. Then yes, that is the extra money that I put forth. And I've done that with games that have released in Game Pass. I've got digital edition upgrades.
Yeah, so have I. I'm not doing that this year with Forza because I am paying full price
that's
for
crazy. It's like, oh my goodness.
Nope.
But yeah, I just feel like there are pundits in the industry right now that are gaslighting this whole Game Pass is bad and Xbox is dead, and I don't buy it.
Did Jay ever respond to you? I never even went back to it to see if Jay ever responded to you.
I don't believe so. When I told him when I replied that I've never let my Game Pass sub lapse, and I buy games that aren't in Game Pass. And I don't think he ever answered that. So I don't know. And I reached out to a friend, and they even said that's who gave me this whole idea that some Game Pass subscribers are entitled, and if it's not in Game Pass, they're not going to buy it. I don't know who does that. I really don't, unless they're children and they don't have their own money to buy the games they want to play, because it is understood. I mean, I hope intelligent people know that not everything's going to come to Game Pass. The only reason I truly got Game Pass was Microsoft has all of these studios, and they're going to have all of these games, and that's a cheap way for me to play these games and not have to buy 20 individual games from first party. It's where my first party games with Xbox are always going to live, other than the select few for licensing issues, which happens with the Horizon games when they get about 10 years on them. I don't know. I mean, intelligent people know that it's not going to, and when it does come to Game Pass, like High on Life and High on Life 2, well, that's what I pay a subscription cost for. And I'm sure that developer is getting a nice chunk of change for putting that game in there. And when it hits certain numbers, they get bonuses.
Listen, man, I have all the subscriptions. I got PS Plus, I got Game Pass, I got Nintendo Switch Online. I have literally bought 3 and 4 copies of the same game because I like that game, and I want to be able to play it everywhere. Like, so the subscription services have never stopped me from purchasing what I want to purchase. I don't know if it's just broke kids that are just angry that they can't afford these things or something. I don't know what the rhetoric is going on about it, but I mean, has it stopped me from buying Xbox first party titles? Yeah, but that's why. I mean, Microsoft afforded me the opportunity to access Game Pass. Why? I mean, unless I just really want some extra content, or like you said, like an ultimate version. Why? The subscription exists for me to take advantage of it. However, I use the money that I didn't spend on that to grab other third-party titles that still kind of like embolden the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still buying third-party titles outside of Game Pass, it's still boosting the overall revenue of the company. So what do they care? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. I mean, Johnny in the chat says, "I'm not entitled. I'm just broke."
Well, and you know me, my financial situation. I don't buy a lot of games that are full price because I can't unless I really, really, really want it.
Yeah.
And those do come up. Like, I really want that James Bond game. I'm buying that. I really want that Batman game. I'm buying that.
I'm getting both of those. I'm getting both of those, man.
Yeah.
Those are my two. Those are my two most hyped, I think, overall this year.
Yeah.
I think.
In fact, they already know that the James Bond game. I got the super deluxe version. I'm getting that golden gun replica. Screw that shit. That's my Christmas present to myself.
Wait, you got a golden gun replica? Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah, the more expensive version has the golden gun replica.
That game's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
my issue is that the kid doesn't look like James Bond. I'm sorry, but okay, I know the game's going to be good.
But what does James Bond supposed to look like, dude? That's the thing. Remember, before he was Sean Connery or Roger Moore or any of them, he was in a book, and none of them looked like he was described in the book, and none of them looked like he was described in the book.
No, of course, I do understand that they have the liberty to go with whatever face they want, but to me, I like it's forever going to be like Sean Connery. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to hop in real quick. I finally got the ROG Xbox LAX to download Call of Duty, just in case anybody was curious.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help.
So 1080p FSR3 balance mode, 97 frames per second average in a come match. That's on off battery, just battery.
Now, what I'd be interested in though is play it for a while, then come back and tell us what it felt like to play it like that.
Yeah. It's really cool. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to my PC, but it's still a cool little thing to lay in bed and mess with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like Johnny said in the chat, he bought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 the day it went to Game Pass on sale.
Yeah.
So
sales, man. When they put them on sale, you got to watch out because PlayStation will do that. It'll go on sale like crazy. You best believe it's probably hitting PS Plus or Nintendo Switch is doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Well, remember, just for having Game Pass, you get a discount. You get the 5% discount or what it is on anything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yep. I don't know. I just, if it works for you.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Because I've been thinking about this. So we're in a weird era of gaming right now with the prices and all that kind of stuff. So, and I had this question asked to me just because there's somebody at my job who was asking about this. Say there's somebody who comes up to you and they say, I want to get into gaming. I have never gotten into it before, but I want to get something. Right now, where are you directing them? You know what I'm saying?
Atari 2600. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Like a Dreamcast.
That's right.
The best console ever made. What do you guys think?
I always have a fallback of, do you have friends who play games? Where do they play? Because if all of your friends play on PlayStation, go there. If you're interested in multiplayer, if all of your friends play on Xbox, go there.
Yeah.
And with crossplay, the barriers of really drops. A lot with all that. So they've gotten really good. I've converted my entire family. I got my wife a gaming laptop, and I got my daughter a gaming laptop. So we were all kind of doing the PC thing, and I keep my consoles on my TV because I have terrible FOMO. So if there's anything out there I can't access, it drives me insane. So it's better for my mental health if I just keep everything, and then that way I'm good.
Well, not only that, not only from like Paul was saying from the multiplayer aspect, also the single player aspect. I mean, obviously, if it's an Xbox game, it's going to be everywhere. As of right now, I do think that's going to change. But as of right now, an Xbox game is going to come to PlayStation, but a PlayStation game is not going to come to Xbox. So if you go to PlayStation, or if you go to Xbox and you have friends that play on PlayStation and they're talking about, Wolverine or a game like that, you're not going to be able to play it.
If Wolverine's their default, I'm going to say just get a PlayStation, because that's going to be your only option, at least for the short term. So,
wherever your friends game, that's where I would send them to game, because if they do want to play multiplayer, they're going to be able to easily connect to those friends, and they'll be able to experience the games that their friends tell them about, regardless of.
Yep.
That's
yeah,
what
I was going to
tell
point
them.
that out too. It's not just multiplayer; it's single. Where do your friends play even single player stuff? Then they can go, "Hey, dude, I'm playing this game. It's really cool. Where are you at?"
Yeah, Timber said maybe we're gonna go back to exclusives. I do think we are. Yeah, if it doesn't have a release date on PlayStation already, then all bets are off right now. I look for a 6 to 12 month exclusivity coming back.
I think Gears of War E-Day will be the test. I think
I can see
personally,
that.
because I don't think that
For
they don't have an
exclusivity.
official out date, right? For it. Am I?
They do not. No, they have not dropped an official.
That's the test. I'm telling you, that's the test.
Just that it's this year. That's all we have.
I'll put it like this, bro. I'm gonna say this on YouTube right now. I currently don't have a Series X. If Asha makes Gears of War E-Day exclusive, I'll buy a Series X same day.
But like you're saying, full-time exclusive or timed?
I don't listen. I have everything, right? I have all the things. I want it completely exclusive. You know what? If she walked in there right now and just slapped her leg on the table and said, "I'm taking them all back," and I'm taking them back for Xbox. You know what I mean? Like I want, because here's the thing. This stuff drives competition. We need this in this space, because the worst thing that we're dealing with right now is a complacent Sony who has no competition, doesn't really care if they put out good shit or not. You know what I mean? So they just kind of crank out whatever. That's why we're getting live service slop for the last 5-6 years on that platform. What the best time that you see all of the games come out was when the two platforms, Xbox and PlayStation, were going bar for bar. You know what I'm saying? Bar for bar, Gears of War versus The Last of Us, Halo versus God of War. You know what I'm saying? Like the big heavy hitters. And regardless of what people are trying to tell you, I understand the whole market for like everybody being able to play, and I don't want to exclude anybody, but I also want the thing that I bought to have a good reason to have it, because if everybody has everything and everything's just one big ambiguous box, well then obviously PC is the best place to play anything. Right? It doesn't matter about what your console does or what features, because a 5090 is going to beat it. So the console needs to have something to sell it.
But
Go to your
still,
personal taste.
but people always say that. But I can't afford a PC of that level, but I can afford a console at that level. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's to say, the thing is, it's like a console sells affordability and exclusivity. That's always been what it's been about: affordability, exclusivity, and simplicity. All those things kind of wrapped up into one. Back when I was 16 years old in 2001, I could have continued on a PC. I saw Halo on Xbox. I couldn't get Halo anywhere else but Xbox, and that's where I landed from then up until essentially 2018, I think, or 2016. I think I made my first PC was for WoW Legion. I wanted to come back to WoW. I played WoW Legion and I played Destiny 2 because it had a higher frame rate on PC. But up until then, I was strictly Xbox for the very reason of, like, back when I was 16 years old, Xbox had an exclusive that I cared about and I loved, and it was the only place for me to get it. You get what I'm saying? And
I get that, but I also, you don't want to know how old I was in 2003, but let's just say I was quite a bit older than 16 by a lot.
Yeah. Well, 2001 I was 16. I was 18. I was 18 at 2003.
Still,
not much
you're no. Well, there is for me, because let's just say I turned 18 in 1986, at the end of 1986.
I was
so
2
I'm
years
an old
old.
man. So yeah. But I don't know if the market can ever go back to that. At least not with the cost of games and all that stuff where it's at, because it's about getting the games out there. And if you don't have the console base and you limit it to just console, you're not necessarily going to get the games out where they need to be.
Can I retort you guys with a question? Or any of you guys like comic book superhero fans, anything like that? You guys love that kind of stuff?
Yep, definitely. Right here.
All right. I'm gonna lead you in. I do this a lot. So what's a video game from a character you really wanted to play? Like what's your dream? What's your dream that hasn't been made yet?
Oh, there's been one game made of it where it played pretty well, which was Green Lantern. The 360 Green Lantern game was fire, but
perfect.
yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's go with that. So when the Helix comes out, right? Or let's just say the Series X, we're back in 2020, and Xbox landed a Green Lantern game made by Rocksteady, and it was exclusive to the Xbox. Now, what do you think that would have done for the ecosystem there? You know what I mean? Like if they would have landed something that everybody knows, like this is why Sony was so successful. They went and got Spider-Man, right? And they went and got something that everybody knows and everybody loves. Who doesn't love Spider-Man? Everybody loves Spider-Man. And they bundled it with every PS4 and PS5 that was coming out in the holidays, and it sold like hotcakes. Xbox needs to go out and get aggressively grabbing something out there in the pop culture that's going to be like, oh my God, I got to go get an Xbox now. Like Wolverine. Well, when Wolverine comes out, people are going to buy PlayStations and go play Wolverine. Okay, well then why can't we go out and go get a Superman open world game and make it for Xbox and make it exclusive? And tell people like, hey man, this game's good enough for you to want to go buy an Xbox. You're gonna want an Xbox, even if you're unsure about it. You know what I mean?
They might want something better than a Superman game. Then no, I'm sorry.
But my point is the Switch 2. It's like,
I know what your point is. I'm just messing with you, dude.
Yeah.
I know what your point is. I'm just messing. I just think
Pokemon
Superman
is like selling out, and they're actually increasing the price of it because it's so well. And then people are angry, but you know what they're doing? They're angrily buying a Switch 2. They're not happy about it, and they may not be happy about buying an Xbox. And honestly, who cares? You can not be happy about it. I would love to see these people begrudgingly have to go get an Xbox because there's a game so good that comes out that forces them to want to buy it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't know this, but I'm always pushing that there's no one game that will make me buy a single console. But then again, I did buy a Quest 3 just for that Batman game because it's the only place you can get it.
There it is, dude. And that's all that the company would need to get out of you, right? Is that initial purchase. It doesn't matter. They got you. They got you in there, and eventually you go back to it or utilize it or whatever. You know what I mean?
My problem, and they know this too, is I know what the Sony catalog is like, and there's not enough there in the way of their exclusives that even for Wolverine that I'm going, I got to get a PlayStation. Now, and that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's mileage may vary.
Because I know I wouldn't use the console. Once that game was one and done, I'd be done.
I'm a huge Marvel guy, so like dude, I love Wolverine. Oh my God, like that's one of my favorite characters of all time. So I gotta have that. You know what I mean? But my point is like I was so, or like, dude, an open world or like bring back anybody played on the original Xbox, the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. You guys remember that game? Anybody play that?
Vaguely, I
dude,
remember it.
I mean, you talk about awesome, dude, on the OG, and the Hulk already has like the green and there's so many ideas that I could have had that could have like landed. You know what I'm saying? And I would go back to the Peter Moore era of just cutthroat. You're not getting nothing. I mean, and here's the thing: is like they are in such a good position right now that if they wanted to get real petty, they could get real petty. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm just saying, Asha. I don't know if she's gonna do exactly that or whatever, but I mean, I don't understand. I don't know why else would she be saying return to Xbox? Because what does that even mean? If it doesn't mean going back to what made Xbox what it was, then what does that mean? You know, because if she's not going to change anything that they're doing, then what are we returning to? You know what I'm saying? That's the question that I want answered, you know?
Definitely.
Again, trying to go in the midway, which is going to make it good for players' interests and Microsoft interests. Microsoft doesn't want to give up on multi-plat, so At most, I think they are just going with timed exclusivity. Full-time exclusivity is
I say
not
you
coming
got to
back,
do a
I don't
year.
think.
You have to do 12 months. You've got to
12
because
months,
12
nowhere else.
12 months nowhere else. That I hate to say it this way, but that milks
They're
your
still
current
going to put
console
PC.
base for anybody that is going to buy it, and then you keep that going by giving it to everybody that couldn't buy it.
They are
Exactly.
still going to be putting on PC. They are not going to be giving up on that.
No,
Yeah, and they
I
can put it
wouldn't
on
either.
PC later. They can put it
No,
on
no,
PC later.
no. They're going to be
They
putting
should
day
they
one.
should have done that with Starfield. Starfield was the game. That was the game that would have sold anywhere from 5 to 7 million copies. I think if they, especially before any of the nonsense or whatever about it and everybody's opinions or whatever, I think that game had enough staying power. If it didn't hit Game Pass day one, and you would have had an official Starfield edition Xbox Series X, I think it could have sold at least I would say maybe 3 to 5 million copies. You know what I mean? And that would have been a solid win. And you could actually say, damn, Xbox sold something. You know what I mean? They sold 5 million copies of a game. And they would have had hard numbers. And I guarantee you that Aaron Greenberg would have been on Twitter, shouting through the rooftops about how great the sales were, and you would have seen all this good stuff. That's what I think that they're missing. And I know that we can talk about them not going back to it or whatever, but I just don't see a world where they can continue, especially like putting the stuff on PlayStation. Like how do you market a console when your competitor has your games and then their games, and then you don't have access to their games? And a potentially a cheaper console for the next generation. You know what I mean? That's a lot of questions to be asking a market that's not going to buy both. You know what I mean?
All the shareholders see is money. That's all I'm going to say to that, because that's true. That's what it comes down to. All the shareholders see is money. They don't care where it comes from. They just know that you sell it to PlayStation, they're going to sell it to, because those PlayStation people don't have access to Game Pass, so they're paying full price for that shit.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like they're already conditioned to spend that kind of money. So like to them,
Yep.
it's no different. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what it's like to get like day and date stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't think Sony ever will, to be honest. People were talking about them going day and date on PC. I think that'd be a cold day in hell before you see that.
Yeah, unfortunately. The one game that I remember for a while there, where we're getting concept art about of a building in the background that looked like the Daily Planet, and we were thinking we were going to get an Xbox game that was Superman. You know how hard it would be to actually make a good Superman game? I mean, you've got the Man of Steel that can fly so fast. The game would almost have to be like have a world in it as big as that game that's getting ready to come out, Light No Fire, by the makers that made a No Man's Sky. Because you could fly from one area of the city to the next area of the city in like a second. Less than a second.
But see, this is what I would do. I would write into the story that for some reason or another that Superman's powers were dampened, and you go on a journey essentially to reach back up to the pinnacle of Superman, and at full power you would fight whatever the final boss is. So you would only have access to like his full abilities. So whenever his movement or his abilities like moving, dashing, and flying, his flying would be limited, strength will be limited, but still a fun game to play. So I would have like a collar that Brainiac put on him that like dampens his abilities to use, you know what I mean? Or something to ground him down. It's same thing with the Green Lantern game. Like it would still have to be within the parameters of a video game. You know what I mean? Maybe like Anthem, how you were like flying around in Anthem and you're kind of flying into a horde of enemies and you fight them, That game has so much potential.
The Iron Man simulator, that's what that was.
Yes, dude. Like it was so people talk shit about that game, dude. The flight was awesome. The flight mechanics were awesome. And it had a lot of potential, dude.
Yeah. A lot of potential, no content.
Yeah.
We do have a game like that. Blade. We got Blade.
Yeah. Blade, and that's a character that everybody likes, everybody knows, right? We haven't heard anything about it in a while, but
And what
yeah,
we've
I just think that we need a reason to own an Xbox. You know,
and
give
from
me
what
a
we've
reason.
seen, the concept art and the trailers that we've seen, it is modeled after Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I mean,
To
it
me,
looks
that
cool.
looks like Wesley Snipes. So,
So partway through the game, part of the storyline, he gets accused of tax evasion. Oh wait, no, that's
too far, Paul.
yeah,
Too far.
I hear you. Johnny in the chat says, as a kid, he loved playing Superman on his Nintendo 64. Yes,
Let's go.
that was the last best
Make it
one we
happen.
got.
Give me a Series X with a big S on it, and I'm sold, bro. You know, make it exclusive. Somebody clip this and give it to Asha. Asha, listen to me. Do it.
well, I can tell you that there have been talks about people wanting more specialized special consoles, not just the one-offs they do for content and not just controllers. We want to be able to buy special consoles.
Yeah.
You
know what one? You know which one was so impressive? I saw it on the marketplace the other day, and I'll be honest with you. I know Thember's listening. Thember, I almost bought it for you, dude. It was the Xbox One X Gears 5, the gray silver one, dude, with the laser etching on it, and the controller was like, it wasn't just like stickers, bro. I hate those PlayStation extra things where it's just stickers on it, dude. This thing had like laser etching. Like you could feel the cracks.
That's the one that's the one that had the Gears symbol look like it was cracked in ice.
It was cracked in ice. It was literally laser etched into the Xbox.
Yeah.
Bro. Sick.
Yep. Well, that's when PlayStation couldn't do a special controller if their life depended on it. It seems.
No, they all look the same. They all look like they got ripped off Temu. They're terrible looking. I would never buy them.
It's like a different color plastic and a sticker. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you have the ability to change those plates, but they don't do any really special, nice, creative plates either. You can get orange, red, blue, black. Okay, but give me one that got a design on it that looks really cool.
The coolest design they did was the Spider-Man one. It was the black with the symbiote.
You remember the 360 had the face plates you could change out.
Yeah.
I had one 360. I had 3 face plates. So, and I would just change them out every once in a while.
Yeah.
This podcast.
I miss the theme consoles, man. They were so good. I know our podcast turned into nostalgia.
I know.
Is what
well,
it is.
I have officially streamed 400,500 frames to YouTube tonight, and I've dropped 0 at 4K HDR 60.
Bob. Bob, it's time. You need to brag about your internet connection. Go on.
No, I'm just gonna say that I finally got fiber, and I'm happy.
Hey, did you guys know that Bob has good internet? I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I would check into it.
No,
he
Mr.
needs to call his internet provider and ask if they can sponsor. Because I swear to God, but just every show we'll do like a spot, 1 minute spot,
No, like this is actually an official sketch here for the podcast, which is like time to brag about Bob's internet. So yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Look, we've been live. We've been live for an hour and a.
Yeah, not Bob. Stevo's internet.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry. Steve-O, my bad. I'm sorry.
His name is right there. Steady Steve-O. There's everybody's names.
Force of habit. I'm sorry.
All right. Well.
Oh yeah, Steve-O's internet's really good.
We come to the end of the show. Yes.
That was fast, guys.
Fast.
If you start
We've been live for
almost together.
We've been live for an hour and 45 minutes, dog.
Yeah, I haven't podcasted in a while, man. It's been, I've been having a good time.
I hate it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can go for another hour. What y'all want to talk about? Thember, what do you got for us?
Oh man.
Okay. Let's go to the moment where I start bragging about football. Paul, have you heard that the Cowboys have traded Ozo Digizua?
Nope, I don't follow it enough during the offseason to give a shit.
What?
Ozo Also, Digizua was, which is a D line, got traded to the 49ers, I think, for a 4th round pick.
I have no idea who that is. Oh, all right. Cerebral Paul, let everybody know where they can find you at, brother.
You can find me on Twitter at CerebralPaul1, Twitch and YouTube at Cerebral Paul. I'm also editor and writer for lordsofgaming.net. And you can find me here Wednesdays for Game Set Live and Fridays for Wasted with Wise. And then, of course, in 2 weeks, you can find me in Boston at PAX. So,
Sweet. Drawn TJ, sir, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Wednesdays here on Game Set Live, 5 p.m. Or you can also find me on Discord at DrawnTJ450 or X at DrawnTJ450. Or you can find me on Xbox at DrawnTJ. And everyone hit the like button. Please subscribe.
Leave a comment on the way out. It helps out more than you know. Mr. Fabio Amorim, sir, where can everybody find you at, brother?
Well, you can find me not just here on the Game Set Live podcast. You can also find me on the XPN Network YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter as FBOAmorim97, and you can find me on the Wasted with Wise podcast, as well as on Xbox as Booth and Lizard 8. Thank you so much.
Nice. World premiere. POWERMAN 4K, where can everybody find you at?
For now, you can find me on X at PowerMan4K 2099. YouTube channel and stuff is to be determined, but in the works, seeing how much I can do as far as that kind of stuff. I just want to say thanks, guys, for having me on the panel. It's been awesome talking with everyone. And Paul, did you say you were going to be at PAX East?
yes, I'm going to be at PAX East all 4 days.
Oh, great. Okay. Because that's 45 minutes from me. So.
Oh yeah, just
I'll
we'll
reach out.
make sure we swap information. That way you can get a hold of me, and then we'll get together at some point.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about maybe
Just remember, I'm disabled. You'll have to come to me. That's just the way that's going to work.
Absolutely, no problem. Not a
He's
problem.
not there. There's a bunny. He doesn't run on the batteries.
Yeah.
We're all linked in the chat now on WhatsApp, so you guys can just individually text each other or call each other using WhatsApp. So
No,
Cool.
no, I don't think we will. It's way too practical.
I've
It's a
called you
cool-
before, Fabio. I think.
No, you
Yeah.
haven't.
I will tomorrow. I will. I'll get you right in the middle of lunch.
No, you won't. You
Yeah.
have no idea. That's
It'll
how
be a
much-
video chat too. Wait till
Oh.
see. Oh yeah, and this was your host, Steady Steve-O, aka KY Bob, on the Game Set Live YouTube channel. You can catch me on all gaming platforms, Steady Steve-O now. I haven't changed my PlayStation 1. PlayStation is still KY Bob, but I'm Steady Steve-O on everything else. Steady Steve-O on YouTube. I'm Steady Steve-O on X. That's right. You can also catch the audio version of this podcast wherever you get your podcasts at. Goes up on Spotify tomorrow after I clip it down and upload it. That's right. And as always, Game Set Live, high def streams, low def behavior. Make sure you get outside, touch some grass, gamers. Hug someone you love. But remember to hold on to your sanity and play some games. We will see you all next week. Good night, everybody. Good night.